The live stream will begin shortly. Share this link with as many people as you can.
May the God of the Bible bless you greatly, abundantly. We are living in the month of sacrifice, in the month of dependence, total dependence on God. Dependence which leads God to react and manifest His power in a great manner, just like happened in the days of Elijah, when the answer of God for his sacrifice was fire coming down from the heaven. But fire coming down from heaven changed the course of history in his days. People now knew the Lord was God, but the choice to whether follow Him or not was up to them. Just like God today, Pastor Rafael. He shows us that He's God. I mean, we have watched so many testimonies here, and we're going to watch another one later on tonight. And God has proven Himself again and again that He's God, but He will not compel anyone to follow Him. To follow Him is still a choice, just like it was for the people of Israel in the days of Elijah.
Yes, Pastor. You know, God gave to each one of us free will, freedom of choice as well. The person is free to make their own decisions, because for God there is no sense if you would force someone to do something. Because if God would force someone to serve Him, to follow Him, to obey Him, then in the end, there is no meaning, right? The person has to follow Him by their own free will.
Exactly. God never forces. He gives us option. He tells us to choose. And when it's time to sacrifice, you have also to choose whether you will be depending on God or if you will give up. My advice to you is the same advice God gave to the people of Israel. God said to them, choose life so you and your descendants may live. Do you want to do well in life? Do you want to overcome the challenges you are facing? I'm sure you say, yes, I do. I want to get rid of this problem. For that to happen, total dependence is required. We will watch a testimony now, Christiane and Christian. They came to the Universal Church, got married. Well, before they came to the Universal Church, they got married, and he was struggling with the behavior of his wife because she suffered with depression. Many people, they think marriage will make them happy. The truth is, you have to be happy before you get married. If you are miserable and you think marriage will make you happy, I'm telling you, you'll just make another person miserable. You have to be happy before you get married. But how to be happy? Well, we're going to learn here now from the testimony of Christian and Christiane.
I always dreamed to go to Hawaii, paradise, have a good-looking husband. I searched it, I found it, and I lived the living hell. My name is Christiane Jensen.
My name is Christian Jensen. I'm from Hawaii.
Since I was 5 years old, I had depression. When I was 17, I decided to go to Japan because I had a lot of debts. And in that, I got to know the spiritism. As I was working at a factory that I had of Brazilians, one of the guys that was a spiritualist, he knocked at my door, and I was like 2 and 3 days without sleeping, and allowed him to come in, and I got involved at spiritualism. And after a year and a half, I decided to go to Hawaii. But the head of the spiritualist church, he said to me, you are a medium and you have to doctrine yourself. If you don't doctrine yourself, your life won't move forward. So I went back. But when I was in Hawaii, I started to manifest with demons. And I started to look for all the religions. Many things you couldn't even imagine, even evangelical churches, but nothing could help me. And until I met Christian.
I am a surfer, so I like to go to Hawaii to surf. I stay with a friend who live in a Hawaiian family. I remember that in California I used to drink a lot, smoke weed every day. I didn't want this life anymore. But I didn't know how to escape from this life. So when I was in Hawaii, I was staying in one church, I was starting to feel better, but everything was just emotion. And I didn't know this intelligent faith. And she was looking happy, surfing with friends, and I liked her because she was different. She didn't tell me this story of depression.
When we got together.
All the luggage that she had. So we came together. How do I say?
Apparently.
Apparently. Everything was fine. We're young, together.
So we got married. Apparently, everything seems to be fine. But living together, we started to have a lot of conflicts because he was an indifferent person. And when Instagram, Facebook came, things got worse because I wanted to have the husband that I saw there on Instagram. Everything that I saw people having, I wanted. We got it. But as much I was getting, the void was getting bigger. I wanted to go to Hawaii, to paradise, to have a good-looking husband, money, travel.
Children.
But to have children. But when I had everything that I wanted, what happened? I packed my things. I couldn't stand him anymore. I went to a hotel. The first thing that I wanted to do there at the hotel, a voice came to my mind and said, jump from this window because your life is over. We were missionaries. We would give advices to other couples. We would tell people what to do, but we wouldn't live.
Nós mesmos não vivíamos.
And for me, it was hard because I was from a family that was like this. I'm living in the hotel,
The same hell.
I live in the same life, the same hell.
So I came to Brazil, and my brother, he is an atheist, and he said to me, "Oh, the Temple of Solomon, they brought the stones from Israel." And I was like, "Yeah." And I wanted to know, but I knew that I was from the Universal Church, and I hated the Universal Church. God forbid this demon church. I made a list of churches, but at the Universal Church, I won't step in. When I said that, a thought came to my mind. Your brother, who is an atheist, he's asking you to take to the church, and you're saying no. So my conscience got heavy, and I said, okay, but only today. So we went to the Temple of Solomon, and when I was going through the second gate that was going towards the sanctuary, I remember that I was speaking too loud. I don't remember what I was saying, but I remember that I was bad-mouthing about something. And when I came in, the Levite said to me, "Shh, be in holiness to the Lord." Boy, I got so angry. I got my brother's hand and said to him, let's go. So we left the first gate, the second gate, towards the street. And the pastor said to me, "Oh, you are leaving already. The meeting hasn't started yet." And I said to him, "Oh, that girl told me to shut up." And he said, "No, but today is going to be with Bishop Renato Cardoso." When he said Bishop Renato, my brother took at my hands and he said, "Now you are going to come in." And I was with a frown, and the prayer started, and a girl manifested the same way that I was manifesting there in Hawaii for 17 years. And this caught my attention because I went to many places to ask for help and I couldn't find. So on that Sunday, I went home in a different way.
Casa já, né, diferente.
Gave me hope to us because if they can do, we have to try. So we decided, let's go to Brazil.
Actually, it was the last door that we had before getting divorced.
Since this age, I've been living in a hostel. I was feeling like a fish out of water, the midst of the city, using ways, driving, fighting with the whole family. We're stuck in a flat outside of our routine.
When we heard the pastor saying about the campaign of Israel, we decided to fight for our marriage. The campaign was for our marriage.
I was so revolted. I have to call God's attention. I need the fire of God coming down upon my life. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. So this was the first time that we decided we are going to sacrifice. So we had a reserve, a savings of money for us to go back. And then we did our first campaign of Israel, knowing nothing. I thought that the heavens will open, that my problems will be solved, that my life would change, but it was not like that. But I saw that the life of sacrifice changes life. We went back to the United States.